My name is Zimmermann. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at IE Business School. Before joining IE 5 years ago, I was doing a PhD at the London School of Economics in consumer behavior. And my research mostly focuses on consumer interaction with technology, with a specific focus on health-related decision-making and consumer well-being. The project explores vaccine hesitancy from the angle of product innovation and new technology adoption. We investigated whether consumers are more hesitant towards certain types of vaccines if they're employing what we call a new technology. So think of the mRNA vaccines that were developed just in the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are able to show that consumers are actually surprisingly hesitant to adopt a vaccine, especially if it's labeled as a new technology. Originally, we wanted to investigate this topic because usually in marketing and consumer behavior, it's typically assumed that at least some proportion of consumers will see value in new technology and new product innovation. But in the healthcare context, and especially in the context of vaccines, this might actually be different because new technology signals that there's a high uncertainty surrounding that vaccine. In one of our studies, we quantified the level of this vaccine aversion towards new technology vaccines. We call this the efficacy premium. We are able to show that actually on average, people were willing to trade off 19 percentage points in vaccine efficacy for avoiding a new technology vaccine. So it's quite a lot, but we also show that there's considerable heterogeneity. So not everybody is the same, and some people are much more averse to these new technologies than other people. For example, those that have very low trust in governmental institutions and regulatory processes are more averse towards new technology vaccines. And those who are generally more open towards new technology in any kind of domain, they're also more willing to adopt a new technology vaccine. In our research, we focused on a social proof nudge. We're basically communicating increasing population vaccination rates to our study participants. And this was very effective in closing the gap that we found between new and traditional technology vaccines because it reduces this associated uncertainty with new technology. But there are certainly other ways of reducing vaccine hesitancy. It also has to be noted that it's a double-edged sword because, of course, there is uncertainty with new technology. So the question is, do we actually want to nudge people into adopting technologies that might actually have some long-term unknown consequences associated with them? The hopes and goals for this research project are obviously, first of all, publish the paper and hopefully reach relevant policymakers and stakeholders with this research to really inform interventions and strategies for public health campaigns, for example, to reduce vaccine hesitancy. So we were also able to extend our findings to other domains, for example, for the adoption of energy efficient fuel sources, for example, and other domains that have a lot of uncertainty with potential externalities, what we call it. So if one person adopts or many people adopt, that there might actually be some effects where it makes it less likely that other people adopt the same technology. I want to do research on topics that are of current interest, that interest me, of course, and that are also policy relevant, so that have a real impact on people's decision making, on their lives, etc. So I'm super interested in technology interaction. So I also have some research projects on mobile usage and maladaptive mobile usage. So how people interact with their mobile phones and what potential consequences that has for their well-being. But generally, I'm interested in conducting research on consumer decision-making related to technology and with hopefully positive impact on people's lives.